You're tuned to the Headbangers Ball viewers' requests and dedications for the best videos of the year in 1993. Part 1 this week, Part 2 coming up next Sunday. And we're still with Paradise Lost, my co-hosts tonight in the hometown of Halifax. And we've moved on to another location. Where are we now? What's going on here?
This is Walkley's Clogs, and this is a kind of famous place where they make clogs. And bands such as New Model Army are kind of renowned for wearing Walkley's clogs. And it's quite a nice, festive place.
It's a little bit of a musical connection there. And this gentleman over here, what's your name?
Puritan preacher Paget, madam.
Thank you. And what are you doing here? You've got a book on sale today?
I have indeed. The Halifax Cavaliers and the Hepton Stall Roundheads. I was telling these gentlemen here about the original New Model Army.
Oh, carry on. Yeah.
Well, Oliver Cromwell's New Model Army. I'm not so sure if they wore Walkley's clogs, but I know very well that today's new model wear Walkley's clogs. Now, I was actually telling these fine lads here that had they lived exactly 350 years ago, they would have been in the front line against the Earl of Newcastle's Cavalier forces. They would have been defending the West Riding against the Cavaliers. Well, look at them. Look at the beef on them there.
Yeah, good beefy stock there.
He's got lots of beef on him, that young man there, definitely.
Does that appeal to you 350 years ago, being in an army?
No, I would have stayed at home, actually shivering in my clogs. I wouldn't have actually done anything, but I'm sure Matthew would have been up at the front. Absolutely.
Matthew would have been a pikeman.
Oh, a what?
A pikeman.
I like fish.
He would have had dare I say it, he would have had a weapon 18 foot long.
Ooh. I like the sound of that. So this is your book, is it? Did you write it yourself?
I wrote it myself. I love the story with a passion. Would you like to just see that? It's £4.50. Right. It's available.
Don't forget.
That's it, yes.
And have you heard of Paradise Lost?
Paradise Lost. Only that single by The Herd in 1968, I believe.
What about the book by Milton?
Oh, of course, yes, of course.
Okay, well, thank you very much for talking to us, and good luck with your book. And we got a break coming up right now. What's coming up after that?
We've got videos from Megadeth, Motorhead, and The Almighty.
So stay tuned. You're with the Headbangers Ball. It's viewers' requests and dedications. We are playing you the best videos of 1993, chosen, of course, by you. We're in Halifax with Paradise Lost, as you know, and right now we've come down to Paradise City, which is where the band get their tattoos done. And I'd like to introduce you to their tattooist. This is Bob, and we'll have a little chat to Bob before we go into the next video. Could you tell us, how did you get into being a tattoo artist, and how long have you been doing it?
Well, basically, I've been tattooing about 8 years. I got into it through drawing, and I like watching, tattoos on other people, and basically learning off other people, till I could set up my own place.
And do you think it's important to actually be good at art, or can you just copy other people's ideas?
There are a lot of studios and tattooists who just do work straight from stencils, but obviously if you can draw, it helps, so you can do different stuff, if people bring in ideas, whatever, stuff like that.
And obviously tattooing's becoming a lot more fashionable now and a lot more kind of mainstream. What kind of trends are you noticing, particularly with kind of rock fans?
Well, basically a lot of Celtic stuff's coming in, black and grey work, Celtic tribal work. It's basically that, but it's with women, they tend to get bigger designs on, from they used to get little devils. I mean, you still do that kind of work, but they are going for bigger work as well, sort of half-back jobs, big thigh tattoos, stuff like that.
Okay. And obviously, everybody knows that tattoos are permanent, so if somebody came to you that you didn't know, that you hadn't worked on before, would you sort of be very concerned about what their motives were, why they wanted it, where they wanted it done?
I mean, basically, most people who come to get tattooed have thought about it before they come. But I mean, I'm open to give advice. If anyone wants to ask any questions, then that's fair enough. If they want to see how stuff gets set up for hygiene, that's no problem, But, as I say, I mean, basically we're here to help, we're here to do what customer wants, you know.
Okay. Well, you've done a lot of work on Greg, as we can see actually along here, a lot of like Celtic stuff, and now you're going to just do a little bit more on this design. How do you start off doing a tattoo? What are the steps to prepare for it?
Well, basically, like Greg usually brings in like ideas, you know, and we sort of work together on ideas. But like this today, we're like finishing off the bottom of this sleeve. Basically, he's told me what he wants, you know, and we sort of work it out. And going from there, you know.
And you mentioned obviously the hygiene thing is very, very important with AIDS and stuff around.
Yeah, especially now. I mean, the AIDS thing in tattooing doesn't seem to be. I mean, obviously it's an issue, but it's more like the hepatitis stuff. So you've got to be really careful. You know, that's a strong virus. But if you go to somebody who's clean, you know, there's no problems.
So you've shaved the skin, you've got gloves on, you've got a sterilised needle. Off you go. Let's have just a look at Bob at work on Greg. And everybody wants to know, does it hurt?
Yes.
Okay, well we'll come back to Bob in a moment. Actually, we'll let him get on with his work. Thank you very much, Bob, for that. We got Nick over here. You've actually had a tattoo done here as well.
I did them yesterday, actually.
Is that your first one?
No, I just had some more work done to this one on the existing tattoo there. So it's quite sore at the moment, but.
And you know, tattoos seem to be very personal to people, and they really have a lot of meanings. What does yours mean?
I don't know really. I mean, it's just a kind of personal thing. I don't kind of cut the arms off my t-shirts to show it off. It's just, you know, it's just something that I like to have on my body. So I don't know if I'll go mad like Greg has done there, but you know.
I think they're a little bit addictive. That's what bothers me about them. Once you've had one, you probably want some more.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go into a band that I don't think really have too many tattoos. Just down the road from here in Sheffield, you'll find those rockers, Def Leppard, and we got a video chosen by a viewer.
Yeah, this is from Susie Dixon, and where does she live? In Norfolk, is that?
In Croydon, in Surrey.
Croydon, and this is for her sister Jodie, and this is Tonight.
There you go.
Hello, welcome back. This is Paradise Lost, and we're at Paradise City Tattoos, where we get our tattoos, and Gregor's getting a tattoo right now. And the video you just saw was Terrorvision, My House, and that's from Bernd Montag, and he likes the video because it's weird, apparently.
He's in Germany.
Yeah, he's from Germany.
Cool band. And we're still at Paradise City Tattoos, as Nick said there, and Bob's actually doing some work on Gregor at the moment. Bob, if I can just interrupt again, if somebody comes to you with like a really, really big design, you obviously wouldn't do it in one go. What's the maximum amount of time you might work on one thing?
Usually, most people will like go for an hour, a couple of hours. Maximum of work's about 3 hours, you know, sessions like that. And basically, it's just a matter of building it up all the time. You know, keep coming back, get a bit more done, you know. But say could be working on somebody for months. You know, it depends on what extent the work goes. You know.
And is it very satisfying for you to see a band like, you know, Paradise Lost actually kind of walking around with your work on them?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, especially like when you see it on programs like this. You know, gives you a buzz and everything.
So what advice would you give to somebody out there watching, who was thinking of having a tattoo? They weren't quite sure. What would you say to them?
Well, basically, don't get out until you're absolutely sure what you want, you know, because it could be the biggest mistake you ever make, you know, if you choose the wrong design. As you know, people get them removed, get them covered up, especially like names, you know, girlfriends' names, stuff like that. I mean, keep away from that. Best advice, I should say, you know.
And have you found like people from like all walks of life coming to you now, rather than, it kind of used to have a stigma attached to it, didn't it? But it seems that it's going a lot more mainstream. Yeah,
for sure, but it's like you get people from all walks, but I mean mainly it's like working class people, you know. But yeah, you get older people, housewives, you get people like teachers, police are even done, you know, everyone really.
And rockers, okay. So Gregor, you tell us a little bit about your tattoos, because they're like really Celtic in design, aren't they?
Well, yeah, I mean, I started off having Celtic stuff like that, which is like more normal Celtic stuff, and I found designs like this in books, like wood carving books or whatever, and these are more sort of old English designs, you know, from God knows medieval times, you know. And I mean, obviously that one was the Dracula film one, so I mean, I like the film so much. bought the tattoo, yeah.
I mean, have you ever regretted having them done?
No, not yet.
So you're really, really happy with them, and do they feel like really special to you?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's an individual thing, but I mean, the only thing that I've got that means anything is that. The rest of it is all designs, so they can't really date, or well, I suppose they're a few hundred years old, but, you know, they can't really, unless you get bored of it, they can't really go out of fashion, you know.
So when are you going to stop? That's what I want to know.
Me too, I want to know that too. I don't know, I just keep getting carried away. I don't know, it keeps looking unfinished, so I have more done, and then then I think, oh, this bit's, you know, I'll have this bit done, so.
But you're happy?
When are you having yours done, anyway?
Oh, maybe a bit later on. Okay, well, we better get on to the next video now, and actually we have to get a little bit sad and serious right now, because in 1993, on the 17th of October, Chris Oliver from Savatage was tragically killed in a car accident, and not surprisingly, many of you have written into Headbangers Ball asking us to play the video for Edge of Thorns in memory of Chris. So we're going to do that right now, and I'm pleased to be able to tell you also that his wife Dawn, who was also critically injured in the crash, is now making a slow but steady recovery. So of course we wish her the best of luck. So there's too many people actually to read out here for Edge of Thorns, but lots of people did ask for the video. Here it is now, and you'll see your name at the bottom of the screen if you asked for it. Savatage, Edge of Thorns in memory of Chris Oliver. There you go, that was an exclusive announcement of where you can catch Paradise Lost on their headlining European tour in 1994. And that just about concludes tonight's special edition of Headbangers Ball Viewers' Requests with my co-hosts, Paradise Lost. And of course, we've been on location in their hometown of Halifax. And I guess we just need to say a few thank yous. Well, I'd like to say a big thank you to all of you for getting back together on your day off when you've just had a long tour together. So thanks very much, and I'd like to, of course, to wish you a very happy Christmas, successful European tour, and I was wondering if you had any message for your fans.
Big thank you to everyone who supported us in Europe. Have a Merry Christmas, and we hope to look forward to seeing you in the new year.
Nice one. And we should say a couple of thank yous, actually. I'd like to say a big thank you to our Halifax camera crew. They've been absolutely brilliant all day, and it has been freezing cold, believe me. And I'd also like to say thank you to Liz Wells from Music for Nations, and also to Bob of Paradise City Tattoos for letting us film here this evening. And I guess we're just going to sign off now. I better tell you what's coming up next week. I'll be on my own in Halifax to introduce part 2 of our viewers' requests. I hope you'll join me there. You'll see these guys on tour. And what's happening now then? Is it off to pub?
Off to pub.
Okay, well, lead the way. Happy Christmas, everybody, and we'll see you next week. Bye.